instantly got weakened by default. So it's really good to see VP be able to pick this up, and that way they stay pretty consistent.
Yeah, they are loving this map coming in, I'm sure, especially as you say after Nuke going out and this being the replacement. But we are into the knife round, so you're saying that TSM are going to take the knife and go CT then? That's your predictions, right?
I'm going to go with it. We're sticking with it. We made those kind of hastily, but we'll see.
It's fine. Everybody
They're not starting off the way.
Casters get things wrong, so it's fine even if you do get
That's
it wrong.
why I'm everyone's favorite caster, right?
Yeah. So that's all it's about. It's just as long as the casters get shown up on stream, that's all that really matters, I swear it is. But you were right, so...
Oh, there we go.
We started off well.
Alright, well, TSM will start out CT side, so hopefully they should be able to pick up the lead by halftime. But we'll see. I mean, again, VP is very good at utilizing smokes at Ivy and isolating individual players. Now, TSM might be aware of this. I don't know how many times they've actually met on train. Again, though, meta development, it changes every game you play. You can't really rely on what you've studied. But I mean, defaults are defaults, but again, every single game, it's like someone breaks or finds a weak point and they just exploit it. So if B works, that's where they'll go. And it looks like that's where they might go off this pistol.
We are live here on train in the first map in this best of 3 in the upper bracket semi-final of the Counter Pit League, and let's have a look and see what Virtus.Pro want to do on this first T round for them. I think it's, you know, important here to pick up this pistol round and then try and convert it, because we do see it quite often now where the T side will make that fast, rapid entry onto the B bomb site and get the bomb down and potentially win the pistol round, but then there's a good chance of the kind of eco win for the CT side in the second round, so you've really got to be careful if you can convert your pistol round.
Really interesting that we saw 2 nades bounce out through the window, but no smoke so far. They don't have any to work with, so it didn't actually allow them to walk down that ramp quite so easily as they were hoping, and that means TSM, they can just line them up. There's absolutely no hindrance to take the site whatsoever, and now Pasha, he's in behind the green train. He's the last one left, and they've already spotted onto him. He's down to 38, 22, 1 HP, still gets 2 kills, surprisingly. But the 1 HP won't be enough to battle Zipnix, who comes around from B. He was the solo player on the inner site, and still gets the kill. And I want to see how VP are going to use smokes once they're able to bring out the utilities, because again, I mentioned it at Ivy, but Taz is another player that always uses that B window in inner to nade into the site, both directions, T side and CT side.
Well, TSM, as you do say, do pick up that first pistol round. It was clinical. Virtus.Pro left with little option but to go to that A-bomb site. And yeah, with the Deagle trying to do some damage initially. Will not Cajun be down to 42 HP, and it doesn't surprise me to see Virtus.Pro kind of force up 5 players with armor here, upgrading the pistols as well. They didn't get a bomb plant in that last round, so they won't be able to go for that third round early buy. But so far, actually, really good damage done from Virtus.Pro in this second round.
Yeah, in fact, they lead the way in terms of damage right now. Cajun B on very low. Device, though, waiting at the bottom of the ladder, and Device caught Taz's feet dangling, so he didn't quite come in the same fashion he was hoping. Able to pre-fire it, but now he's taking some damage. 12 HP. Cajun B going to play so conservatively. Up on top of the control room, 2 players trying to enter from Ivy. Dupree's going to take them down easily, and that leaves Snacks, although he has the bomb. It'd be interesting to see if he could find a way to plant this. Because if he could at least get that for his team, it would be a win, but all 5 players remain up despite that early damage, and they know exactly where he is.
Yeah, tricky situation for Taz, Snacks even, so the best he can hope for in the second round is just to save that Tech 9 and the armor that he's got in hand as well. It looks like Device is going on the run though, and will head into T-spawn and pick up the final kill of that second round. So no casualties whatsoever for the Danish side of TSM. Good start for them, and they'll be able to extend that economy now with nobody having to rebuy. So you would expect just pretty much a full eco here from Virtus.Pro, get this round over and done with so they can get into round number 4 and buy up those all-important rifles.
And no upgrades either. For TSM, no need to. They're just going to build up their economy so that they'll be able to sustain a second buy if they lose the first gun. And if VP lose enough players in that first gun, it would essentially reset their economy. So basically, they're just playing the long game right now, TSM. It'd be interesting to see if they actually even upgrade the SMG that Device is holding, because he can just continue to build cash with it. It's the gamble play, but they're going to rush hard. VP, they're already on Dupree, and he gets caught up. He doesn't jump around the corner. Just collects the edge of that cart on the side there, so his escape plan get foiled, and now it's going to be Snacks to pick up a rifle. Easy shot to Device, looking all right now for VP, because more kills in this round than the last, and another one coming for Pasha over the top of the stairwell. But Zipnix is still holding on, and that leaves Pasha's the last one left, 1 on 2, and very low HP. So well held by TSM, and I naturally expect, never mind the lack of upgrades, because these 3 down, they'll go straight to full rifles.
I mean, that was really well played from Virtus.Pro. I kind of like that push. They all went in holding hands, running in together pretty much, just overwhelming that one player and then being able to utilize that FAMAS rifle that they picked up to do some economical damage. It was kind of the best that they could really hope for in that situation. So killing 3 players, you know, not bad for Virtus.Pro there. And we do see them buy 5 AK-47s to start things off here in round number 4. And a double AWP setup coming in, interestingly, to start things for Team Solar Mid.
A really good push out toward Ivy, but that's caught by Pasha because they dodged that first flash. Neo gonna drop a decoy. Back down the stairwell. Just waits the ladder to see if he's gonna get pushed out because he wants to get an entry here so they can split on the outside site. Nice shot by Dupree, catches Pasha on the top of the box looking for that boost. Taz puts the default smoke on lower. That might have to hold a player inside the site because they're going to think they're going to push lower and Device is winning the exchange. This is all coming back to TSM. They're finding the picks right now. Virtus.Pro just getting caught off guard one by one. Now it's Neo's turn to get back at least into Dupree. Device is on low HP. Chance he could have found him, but the smoke was out and in his way.
Yeah, they do have time, but TSM just look in a really great position now. They've got players who can easily rotate if need to. You can see Zipnix, I think that is, who's actually in the connector area in between the 2 bomb sites, but let's see what Taz can do. Caught up. Cajun B is going to be the man to find him first by the looks of things. Who will pick up the shot? And there we go now. Neo left in a tricky situation, and that's a shame for Virtus.Pro because I think they got the first 1 or 2 frags in the round. But Neo does get the bomb plant. I don't think it's really going to come to too much in the end unless he can clutch it in good fashion here. But a nice hold for TSM all the same.
Again, and they only had the 2 upgrades coming into this round. Now, that bomb plant was interesting because Neo started to plant that, and Zipnix was already committed that he might have been going in to do that. So by the time he realized he'd heard the bomb going down, it was already planted. So giving up a little bit of money there from TSM's point of view, but still working out all right. 4-0 first gun and the pistol. Again, though, look at that bomb plant. Puts them in a good position to force buy, so that could have been prevented. This gives a bit of a lifeline here to Virtus.Pro. If they can pick up this round, there's still a chance to salvage a bit more before we get a little, I don't know, I guess out of hand, you could say. For TSM, who go with a single op this time. So expensive that they lost one of those in the last round.
This is the thing, especially on a map like Train, which is quite heavily CT-sided in some aspects, even with a strong T-side like Virtus.Pro, is just that when the economy doesn't start rolling right from the word go, it can be really difficult to bring it back in your favour. But that's a nice entry frag there from Bayali to take down Carrigan. And as you said, this is pretty much a force buy from Virtus.Pro, although they have got 4 AK-47s. You can see Snacks there with the P90 in hand. But good trades coming in, and all of a sudden we find Dupree, the last one left alive. So the buy here, working for Virtus.Pro, and that's their first round on the board.
Right, there you go. So that's the force buy. Again, that bomb plant in the last round enabled that. And again, Zipnix was a little bit quick to rotate back inside B, obviously anticipating a different play. He was in good position to just walk out from Z Halls, so VP able to bring this back and look at Dupree's money. He has to sit to a pistol because he's bought an op in the last 2 rounds. So TSM were in it for the long game, and then they started getting out of hand just by dropping up players. VP getting kills that matter. Flash comes out, though. Snacks caught by that because he was about to walk into a trap. So that actually may have saved his life because he gets in behind the wall instead of walking directly into the gap.
By Ali, I think there's a player who's in Pop Dog at the second, which may have got some information, but actually Carrigan as well has been able to get himself into a sneaky spot, but it's not really going to matter all the same because Virtus.Pro have absolutely wreaked havoc on this B bomb site. They will be able to plant it, and now we find Carrigan and Dupree in a really tricky situation. That was a really interesting round there because we saw, as you said, I think it was Snacks who made his way around the side and almost got caught out, but luckily the wall of smokes helped him out, and then we saw a couple of nice aggressive pushes from the CTs going in different places, but VP with those entry frags on the B bomb site, you just can't stop them when they can knock off heads in that fashion.
Apologies for the overlay. I actually don't even know how that got hit. I must have hit it with the edge of the mic, so my mistake. Hopefully that wasn't up for too long. Either way, we are back into it. VP did take the inner sight with Fashion, and in fact, they'll get all of the remaining TSM players. No, they're not going to get Kerrigan. I lied. But they will get one more gun out of the hands. So VP coming back now with 2 consecutive rounds, and this is going to break the economy for TSM. They go right back onto pistols.
It's exactly... this is why I love kind of like the economy game. It's what James Bardolph says, or he says that it's the war of attrition pretty much, and I just like how fragile I guess the CT economy can be. We saw TSM take that really nice 4-0 start and they look good with the economy, but as soon as you lose a couple of those AWPs when they decided to go for that kind of early double AWP setup, it can get pretty scary pretty quickly, as it's shown here, and they've only got 1 rifle, which was Carrigan, who saved it from the last round.
We'll be pushing through those. Snacks picking up 2, and this is VP looking very strong in the last 3 rounds. Efficient as well, so now it's their economy that gets A massive jump start. 9,200 for Pasha. They're going to stick with rifles so far. Pasha actually could go for the op right now if he wants to, but so far they haven't needed it on the T side. And yeah, exactly. Stick with the AK. Play the long game for this. It's going to be back to Famosis for both Xyp9x and Device. TSM need to find a way to slow down this VP push. Pasha, they're all running the halls right now, and it's going to be Xyp9x in position. He's playing forward where the smoke would deploy, so he might have vision on them, but his own smoke comes out. That allows one to cross over, and in fact, Neo's going to follow in with Taz right now.
And we can see Cajun B actually just stocked up in Pop Dog, expecting a player to jump down there. So much noise made by Virtus.Pro at the start of this round, giving a lot of attention over towards B, but still TSM are holding strong on their CT side. They've left those two players in, I think Carrigan and Dupree over towards A, not rotating quickly, but Virtus.Pro getting their grenades in onto this inside B bomb site, and in they go. BO3 leading the way, leading the charge, and Xyp9x will fall, and that's a great start once again here for Virtus.Pro. They are just winning their gunfights in great fashion. BO3 with 2, and although he's been knocked low, he's done the damage, and once again VP have got the bomb down, and this was a really tricky round for TSM. Already at the start we saw, as you said, those 2 FAMASs, and nobody had a defuse kit whatsoever, so VP just running riot.
Yeah, this is looking really, really good for them. Train looking extremely strong again, just executing so well, getting into bomb sites, and again, that was a forced buy out from TSM. Now, the money bonus, the lost round bonus, will start to accumulate for them 4 rounds consecutively as they've come immediately back into this game, but they can't get out the double op again. You go back to round 3 where they lost 3 players, go into a double op round 4, and they lose both those ops. They did recover one of them, but that's when things started to fall apart for TSM.
But one thing that I've got to say is that, again, you know, going back to Vulcan, your picks so far of Snacks and BO3 are actually doing pretty well. Look at this flash coming in from Dupree, though, out into Ivy, and that's a huge kill onto Pasha there to start things off. Pasha really should have been potentially aware of that, knowing that the TSM economy could be low, but nice start. It's a shame that he hasn't been able to pick up that rifle that was dropped from Pasha, but we can see BO3 now the man to try and salvage the situation.
Cajun B almost caught there as he transitioned back over closer to the side, or rather, excuse me, Dupree. 66 HP remaining, and now here it is. They'll smoke off right side. We'll see if Neo actually takes the invitation to push through on the left. They're already nading it out, and in fact, Dupree's going to eat that nade. So what VP like to do is smoke one side, push the other, isolate the player. So Dupree's got to be extremely careful on how he plays this, because they are just lurking past him. And there they go. They're already gone over to the opposite side.
Dupree picks up a second kill, I think, of the round there, so it is man advantage in favour of TSM, but weapon advantage still in favour of the T-side of Virtus.Pro. Device holding that close angle, and you can see how cautiously Taz is taking it. Will he find it? I think he found the shoulder there, and lucky for Device. I like the idea, but Taz picks up 2 very quick kills to secure now the man advantage. That's the hat trick for him. Of course, this is just kind of an eco round. They upgraded pistols, but nice hold there from VP, considering the fact that TSM took down, you know, 2 players, and it was a 5 versus 3 situation. And good damage from TSM, but still not enough. And VP take the lead for the first time.
Yeah, I mean, this has been convincing.
Yeah.
And the money, TSM needs to win this round right now to get the money back in their favor. Double up again, massive investment, and they need to start eating away at VP big time. BO3 gonna rush past the smoke. He's already passed Xyp9x. He does lob out a little bit of a nade, but it can't get the damage in, and they trade it. He doesn't even get the first player. Massive damage onto Pasha, but not a kill. Dupree down to 1 HP, although he picks up Pasha. This is going to hinder his ability to go for the retake, and Cajun B gets in with the op, but look at the smokes. Completely in his way. Now they're pushing forward as well. They need to be aware that Pasha is up close as he flashes himself through, catches both. Easy kill on the first. Carrigan goes down. Luckily recovered by Cajun B, because they have to win out this round, but it's traded back. The refrag goes their favor in the HP. 16-1 for the last 2 players on TSM. Virtus.Pro might just take this half very convincingly on this round alone, because the money is out of control. TSM lose Device. That's the other op, and Dupree, he's still inside. He's still committed. 1 HP. He's caught. He's down. 2 players remain up. Doesn't even matter. They've got so much money on VP's side.
I just love that push by Ali once again, entry fragging on that inside B bomb site. He's done it time and time again, just knocking heads off the TSM players, and it kind of seems like VP are taking a leaf out of C9's aggressive T-side train stats that we saw at the weekend, and I like it, and this is what I wanted to see from Virtus.Pro. This is why I kind of thought that they were in with a good chance of potentially taking this map. Obviously, we still got a long way to go, but they've just got such good T-side strats on here, and they're looking really confident already. Despite losing those first 4 rounds, they've just brought it straight back to TSM, and once again they've absolutely demolished their economy.
And Neo actually picked up one of the ops from the last round, so he's got a T-side op. And they gave it to him because he had the front spawn, and we already saw the damage. He didn't get the kill, but he got the lag shot onto Device when he crossed over from the main connector. Nice shot by Cajun B. Puts the Deagle into Pasha, but it's going to be Taz dropping down the ladder, taking out Device. That opens up the site entirely, and Neo's just got to basically hold them out. He might just play the decoy right now, not even hit the shots. Finally does. Well, that's the last player remaining. See if he can get the additional bomb plant. Does Neo? Nope, doesn't happen. So not an extra bonus for him, but either way, Virtus.Pro, 7 rounds unanswered. TSM, I have to say they looked convincing after the way they started out. It was extremely efficient, and then it just broke instantly.
And that's the thing, that's what CS can do to you at times, and obviously when the momentum isn't just going in your favour mentally and you're not quite feeling in it, and then suddenly the economy obviously is a big factor as well and your money's not helping you out. They have got that lost round bonus coming into play, but still, Virtus.Pro are looking really confident, and they are 1 round away from already securing the half win, and just to pick up 7 rounds on your T side of train is a really good start. So the fact that Virtus.Pro have got way more rounds to play with is great, but Cajun B responds onto Snacks, and that's a good starting frag here in round number 12 for the Danes.
Good shot by Cajun B again, so this gives them 2 up. Need to build off this. They're going to send Neo out on a bit of a lurk right now just to see what he can find, but Device is playing the off angle down below, spots his head, doesn't hit the shot. That gives up his position as well, though. But he may have... Okay, that smoke did bloom far enough. No, it didn't. Yeah, Device can still duck under that. That's what I thought initially, is that he's still going to be able to see through that. But Neo's backed off it. They look like they want to head down the ladder. Bialy going to follow Taz. And so far, so good. TSM aren't rotating. They're actually reading this correctly. Zipnix has played back over to lower, so he's in a good spot to spot them up when they come down. First off, doesn't hit the shot, but they line up. He's going to nail both. Bomb goes down, and it's an assist because Bialy actually team kills into Taz due to the lineup. Now Zipnix down to 9 HP. He's bailed out by Kerrigan.
That was a really big round there for TSM to pick up. After Virtus.Pro taking 7 rounds in a row, not only did TSM need that to try and switch that pendulum of momentum back in their favour, they also really needed it for their economy. If they had lost that, that pretty much would have been GG's almost for this half, because their money once again probably would have been in not the best state. They may have been able to buy up, I'm not too sure, but it probably wouldn't have been to the extent that they have now with those double ops. But still a great hold by TSM. Those opening 2 frags from Cajun B were absolutely massive, and VP tried to respond, but all the same, when they entered that B-bomb site, TSM were in great spots to close out the round and secure their 5th.
So VP showing off the case for this to be a T-sided map. There's been a lot of debate about that. I know NBK, when he first talked about this map, said that it should be T-sided. Threats echoed the same thought. Bomb's going to be planted down right now, but Cajun B, nice shot on Snacks. They've got to claw this back. 2 men still up, make it down to 1. No, Taz survives. He's only got the 4 HP, but he's still up, and that allows Neo to pick up 2. Taz staying alive matters because he's just picked up another kill. It's all down to Zipnix, how quickly it can change. 1-on-1. Op versus AK, bomb planted. But Zipnix has to try and bait this out. Neo's going to jump. Does he spot him in time? Does, and the AK gets the kill. Lots of time to get the defuse. And the question is, does he run and recover the op, or do they stick with rifles? Naturally, based on the fact that they've been running a double op, no surprise at all, he's going to go get it.
So, nice little clutch there from Zipnix to take that. Neo looked in a great spot. When he picked up those 2 kills with the AWP, it was just looking like VP were kind of resuming normal play there, but still a good hold from TSM, and I guess kind of just showing their class on this kind of a map, and it shows how strong they feel on it, potentially, even though they are on that more popular CT side in a lot of people's opinions. You would expect them to pick up more rounds here. The fact that they got broken in half with 7 rounds in a row from VP, it's good to see TSM pick up a couple here and start to try and bring it back in their favour.
Dupree's going to be the one that's playing out toward this alley, but look at the setup. There's 3 players here. Soon to be a 4th from VP. They've already used 1 smoke, and Neo, Dupree a little bit impatient. Catches him in movement. Now it's going to be Cajun B that has to rotate to compensate for this gap, and now Device already there. He's going to get taken down by Neo again. It's another one with the Tech 9. This time around, and only a leg shot means Bialy can just come around the corner so fast on Cajun B, there's no answer. And this is looking like it might be a 9-6 half as they pinch on the inner sight. There's no way out of Z connector, a player on either side of it. Take your pick here. What's your poison going to be? As Neo adding more fire onto that connection point, but Zipnix still able to get 1. They actually line up. Kerrigan's pulled this back because they completely overlooked the fact that he can be playing from hell. And now he's got a chance on to Bialy. This is all coming back to TSM as they still have control of the bomb site, and they've got decent health. Flash out from Bialy, dodged perfectly by Kerrigan, and then it's traded, though, by Zipnix as he still goes down. It's a 1-on-1. Bombs up, Snacks running into the inner bomb site.
I have no idea how this has managed to end up in a 1 versus 1 because VP just looked like they were running Storm here in round number 14. But all the same, credit to TSM and especially Carrigan there with those 2 kills, just playing in a little sneaky position, watching Virtus.Pro trying to go for that plant on this A bomb site, but it will be B, and Snacks trying to hold an angle. He knows exactly where Xyp9x is. He's heard him. Xyp9x is going to flash through. Snacks catches him off guard there, and that's a shame for TSM. They really needed that round, especially after bringing themselves back into it in such fashion. And once again, look at their economy here. They're having to go for a force buy in the final round of the half. VP looking really confident though, and just carrying on that momentum.
Weird that Xyp9x actually thought that might have been inner for a second, because he actually checked the bomb site and then ran. He telegraphed his position so easily. Snacks actually jumped back once he heard him coming to secure that angle. So this is where I was saying it looks like it could be a 9-6 half because the money is completely broken again on TSM's side. They'll go for the scout, see if GIGABYTE can spot anyone coming out of ladder, but while he's peeking in that direction, Pasha, with no one covering off main, is able to walk out and take him down unexpectedly. So now it's Taz again entering through. Things are working out perfectly for Virtus.Pro. Bomb's already planted. Xyp9x finally getting one back with the only rifle. But the round's going to be over before it even begins. There it is, 9-6 Virtus.Pro. What a half by them.
It was just clinical. I kind of said that in the first 4 rounds or so from TSM when they started off strong, but VP suddenly just brought it back in their favour, and that's confidence for you there, and that's what I love seeing from Virtus.Pro. At times, especially online, they can be a bit, I don't know what's the word, inconsistent, I guess, for lack of a better phrase, but they're looking really confident here, and to take 9 rounds on your T side of Train in a best of 3 is a really great start for them. So kind of the pressure now switches to TSM. They were the ones who were supposed to take more rounds on their CT side. They didn't, and so they've got to win this pistol round and try and bring back on the T side what Virtus.Pro did to them in the first half, I guess.
Well, it's all starting out with an inner push right now from TSM, just the slowly decoy to try and distract. But the rotation coming over now from Snacks, it's going to be a little bit late because they've already made their way onto the site. Kerrigan spots one at the bottom of the ladder. Now he just has to fall back, and he's chased the Tech 9. I'm not sure Pasha realizes that he spotted him, so it's all TSM so far. Finally, Neo getting a kill, but that bomb's been planted, and Bialy and he left to their own devices.
I mean, they do have a chance here because they have got, well, Bialy's got armor and Neo does have a kit, so, but still all the same, they're in a tricky spot, and of course the clock is ticking. Carrigan has that all-powerful Tech 9 in hand. Neo will pick up his second kill of the round, but I don't think it's going to come into too much fruition here, and there we go, Dupree knocks him low and will pick up the final kill of the second pistol round here on Train. So 9-7 is the score, important round for TSM to pick up, and they will be able to convert off that, and it's going to be interesting to see what VP decide to do here, how they play it, what they decide to buy it, whether they decide to buy anything, and it kind of doesn't surprise me to see that they're not really buying too much, just upgrading a few pistols, Snacks with a grenade and Taz with armor as well, but not all too much else here for VP.
Smoke out to cover the gap. That won't allow them to spot immediately into Dupree, but he's just selling it right now, as we see him already backing off to join his teammates. And this is actually working out okay because Taz only wanted an inner, calls for a late rotation. They're here a little bit sooner this time, and Taz getting that opening actually gives a good chance here as damage is going to come through from Z. They need to watch the push here from Neo, and that's smartly countered, but Xyp9x did take a shot to the head before that. GIGABYTE, he's going to pick up another, as it's all left to Snacks and Bialy. Bomb down and planted in position. It's going to be Kerrigan, or rather, GIGABYTE, with the AK-47. So Bialy with the P250, he's got a player behind him as well. Dupree's going to be on top of him before he's even ready for it. Picks up one more, but that's all he can ask for.
It's a bit unlucky for Virtus.Pro because Xyp9x and Device were knocked down really low. They were dinked with those 5.7s or P250s, but all the same, good round for TSM there. That anti-eco win now bringing it within 1 round, the difference between the two. And this should all be evened up 9-9 because Virtus.Pro, as you would expect, just going to be on pistols once again here. And I mean, what did you think of Team Solomid's decision to go for 5 rifles? Obviously, we see on an anti-eco round a lot of teams going for a couple of SMGs as well, just to help out with their economy. But TSM just decided to go all rifles.
I mean, it depends on your comfort level and it depends on the map. SMGs on this one, there's a lot of open space. Both bomb sites are quite vast in terms of the angles, so having a rifle just makes it a little bit easier to pick from a distance, but it is a bigger investment if you lose it, for sure. And you don't get the same kill rewards, so I guess it just depends on the strategy and how you want to play it. Right now, TSM, they want to get back into this game. They're playing from behind, so I mean, the firepower looks to be the choice for them, and now it is 9-9. We have it tied up, and VP, though, we're going to buy out and see this first gun round. Now, remember in the first half, it was 4 rounds unanswered for TSM before Virtus.Pro walked away with it. We do have a slight pause, though.
Yeah, I think Cajun B's just disconnected for a second. There we go. Yeah, he has gone. It was weird because we saw some of the VP players actually push over towards T-spawn, and I don't know whether they saw that Cajun B was AFK and decided not to kill him out of courtesy, or just genuinely didn't spot him there whatsoever, because they actually ran through over towards, I think it's T-main, like just entering onto that A-bomb site, and didn't take out Cajun B, who was just completely AFK in spawn. But yeah, as you say, it's all evened up now. Virtus.Pro will be able to buy in. What's going to be interesting to me is to see how early on Virtus.Pro decide to buy up those sniper rifles, get an AWP or two in hand, and where they decide to play them on the CT side now.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what the body's going to be for VP. We saw them go to the op late once they picked it up from a dead body, but they never actually really invested into a T-side op. But obviously we saw TSM go double op most of the half, which in a lot of cases you could argue was their detriment, especially early on when they didn't really have the economy to back it. But we'll see if VP, I expect, yeah, there you go. Expect to see at least one come out. And it's going to be Neo again that actually grabs this.
It's one thing that I love about Virtus.Pro, and I do talk about it a lot when I cast over them, is that I like just the kind of the dynamic AWP role, as in the fact that various people can pick up that rifle and go for it. Obviously Pasha as well being a great AWPer, Snack you see at times being able to pick it up, Neo's a relatively famous AWPer back in the day, so you know, let's see what damage it can be done.
I mean, yeah, you could say the same for TSM as well, just in the fact that they run either Kerrigan or Cajun B. If it's CT side, Device usually T side. Map dependent, obviously, but Pasha through the smoke just gets the lineup, times it right, catches Dupree running down the side of the train. This leaves Kerrigan in an awkward position because he's already got to E-box, but his patience pays off. They haven't spotted him, and he's able to get Neo, but it's Bialy to respond, so it is refragged. And now it's TSM losing a lot of members. Bomb's dropped on the B site, but Cajun B's got the kill back. Recovers the bomb just barely. Almost a step light, but this gives him a bit of a chance here. He knows that there's a flank coming in. Device has to win this battle right now.
Still an important kill from Cajun B just to take out Taz there, because Taz really could have cleaned up shot pretty much on that B bomb site, but the fact that he was alone, it just meant that the TSM players kind of swarmed him, so TSM with a man disadvantage here, and I think that's the timing. A sneaky spot. Look at that, they're going to fight. Oh, it's a team kill. Cajun B knocks the head off both Snacks and Device. That's heartbreaking, and I think Bialy's going to be able to pick up the final kill here in a second, or will Cajun B respond? Close.
Yeah, that's nuts that they line up like that. We saw it happen in reverse. We saw it happen last half to Taz, I believe it was. And this time it's Cajun B. So twice we've seen a lineup, and it's Cajun B at least winning against Bialy to bring it back to a one-on-one. 3 kills for him in the round versus Pasha with 1, and Pasha make it 2. Walks out perfectly timed. 10 seconds left. Pretty much had to commit to it for Cajun. Had one chance to fake potentially, but doesn't even get that far.
There we go. Virtus.Pro move themselves onto double figures, and let's see what kind of a buy they decide to go for here. It is going to be a force up from TSM, which really doesn't surprise me whatsoever. So we've got Dupree and Kerrigan, who are on those Tech 9s, 2 AK-47s and an AWP. As you say, on the hands of Device as well elsewhere, but VP, they're having to go for a P90 in the hands of Taz. We all know what damage that gun can do, spray and pray with the P90, but I'm liking the aggression initially coming out here from TSM on this A-bomb site. They've got to be very careful indeed, and Bialy at the top of the train will get flashed, but he's able to pick up 2 quick kills there. It is traded by Device, but this is looking good for VP once again.
Yeah, picking up that double on top of the train really changed the round, because this was a similar situation where TSM this time lost the first gun, but because of the huge investment, we saw a scout come out, we saw the P90 come out, there was still a chance to break VP. And it could have been similar to the first half, except in reverse, where TSM suddenly get the momentum rolling for them. But those 2 kills on top of train by Bialy, not traded, like able to pick up both with the FAMAS in that position, that's a little precarious. That needs to be picked up by TSM, so very low HP left for Device. It would be beneficial for him to potentially hold on to this weapon, but doesn't look like he's in a great spot to do that. In fact, very exposed right now. And any second now he's going to have company in the back. And there it is. Unable to hit because of the ladder hitbox. He got on it just in time, but Bialy still comes around. They were on either side.
Well, there we go. 11-9 will be the score on TSM with their economy. This is the thing now where they could be in danger of kind of doing what we see some T-side teams do, of just forcing up as many as they can and just trying to break the CT side, even with a weaker buy. But they are going for pretty much a full eco here, which I think is the better decision, although it is going to pretty much confirm that VP move on to 12 rounds. It is the safer choice.
Missiles coming through. Fire out. They've got to go through it. They've got to commit, and that's exactly what's going to happen. So it's 47, excuse me, HP for Device. Less than that for Xyp9x and less than that for Dupree and Kerrigan, who both go down. Add it to Xyp9x and the death tally as now it's Device. Whose turn is it next? That would leave CageNB. He's the only one remaining. He's the only one left to die.
Good cleanup, and again, that's just important for VP to hold on to all of those rifles, even though their economy is in good stead anyway. The more rifles that you hold on to, also saving kits and armor and grenades potentially as well. It's just going to help out your more expensive economy here. So 12-9 will be the score. Virtus.Pro looking to run away with this one like they ran away with their T-side on train, but TSM are still in it. They have got that AWP now once again in the hands of Device, and let's see if they can try to claw this back in their favor. That looked like there could be an engagement with the two AWP players there at the start of the round, but no frags as of yet. CageNB being incredibly aware that there could be an aggressive push, but Neo will win that battle of the AWPers. Dupree looking to respond, and there's the kill onto Wyali. 4 versus 4.
Good nade out, though. Oh, it doesn't quite go as far as I expected. So Dupree, he still gets 79. That could have been a lot worse as CageNB does get back into it, but Neo's in a great position with the op. Shoots from Gooch straight into main. Dupree, though, still able to lurk up. Knew he was there initially inside that smoke, but then forgot about him as time went on, and now they've got the man advantage on TSM's side. Snacks comes down, backs away from that flash, but Xyp9x threw that perfectly, by the way. That's the right-click jump throw from the corner that doesn't bounce off the wall, so there's no chance to avoid that when it comes through. And that's exactly the case. CageNB closes out the round. Taz the last to drop, and it's double digits for both teams. TSM, that was a very, very important round.
Yeah, most certainly so. And even though they didn't plant the bomb, obviously winning it and players are able to drop rifles to the people who departed us in that last round, it's going to be good for TSM. Virtus.Pro will be able to buy up here, and we have got that P90 and FAMAS in the hands of Taz and Byali respectively, but Neo's still going for that AWP, which doesn't surprise me because he did really good work with it in that last round. But still, credit to TSM. They got the frags when needed and managed to trade effectively there, winning that round to, as you say, put themselves on double figures here.
See what Device can do with the single op. Spam through from Snacks. Let's do a little bit on the Xyp9x, but basically just by default. Haven't spotted anyone outer. Might as well take the chance that they're heading inner. And they've actually rotated a player over it in the form of Neo to compensate for that. So we'll see what he can do as he hovers upper with an op. Definitely a strong position to be in. Not as strong as it used to be on the old train where you could just use your headshot position on the ramp, hence why they changed that. You get the option to peek still with only your head, but you're on a ladder, so you don't get the same shot potential. And it's Neo going to be using his utilities to cover off both lower and a secondary flash to make sure they're not pushing. That means they've got less utilities to hold on A, which is exactly where TSM want to go, but they line it up, and Byali, the timing is perfect, comes back out in the flash now onto Pasha. He's got to be careful, but the flash caught both. It caught everyone, so in fact, Device couldn't spot him either. That allows CageNB to at least get the trade, and a second kill for him, picking up the op, brings it back to a 2-on-2. Still a chance, but Neo, they've got to shut this guy down. He's on fire this game, picks up yet another kill. He hears the bomb being planted, 14 seconds, so it's going to be a fake. Doesn't matter, Neo's not fooled.
Top stuff from Neo. He's already dropped 20 frags in this game, and he's really just helping the Virtus.Pro side through. They're all doing their jobs really well, but Neo's kind of been that standout player for me, especially now on this CT side with that AWP. Kind of one of the standout players in the first half was Byali with those entry frags on that B-bomb side, but now it's Neo with the AWP for Virtus.Pro. TSM unlucky there. They managed to, you know, trade some of those frags and try and bring it back in their favor, especially after Byali with that, I think it was the double FAMAS kill to start things off at the start of the round. But it wasn't enough, and you can see them now. Their economy is not in a good state. They're smoking things up on the A-bomb site. They have gone for the force by only one rifle, but look at Byali. He's feeling so confident here on train. First kill into CageNB, pushing aggressively over towards T-spawn. It will be traded. So once again, we are up in a 4-on-4. Not if Nax has got anything to do with it, although once again, it's traded here. The Rec 9s, or Tech 9s, obviously, still doing damage.
It's shot by Xyp9x with the Tech 9 through the smoke. A little bit of a spray. Gets lucky, but it's still Snacks. He's just been darting around these trains undetected so far. He's already got 2, and I think he may have just spotted the shoulder of Xyp9x. So he'll wait for him to come back down the ladder, and Xyp9x has been playing on this position pretty much the whole round, just trying to bait someone out. Get another shot. Look at his HP, though. He's so low. And there it is. The round's going to expire. It's going to go to a kill from Taz. It's going to put us on 14 for Virtus.Pro, looking pretty solid.
And one thing is that VP's economy has actually been not weak, but in the fact that it's been potentially fragile. If TSM had been able to pick up, one more round or so, or 1 or 2 more rounds on their T side, they would have damaged the VP economy and really put it back. So it could have been an even game, and it just shows. I know I've talked about it a lot, but just how important the economy can be, especially on a map like Train. But it just looks like it's going to be an absolute clean-up here, and the bomb has actually fallen down from the upper area onto this lower B bomb site, so that's heartbreaking for TSM. They're not even going to be able to get a bomb plant. All of them are getting cleaned up one by one, and VP extend their lead now to 5. They are within 1 round of winning Train here, taking us to cash, and this is why I said I just had a feeling that VP could take Train, and they've looked really confident.
No, this was a great prediction by you. I mean, the other thing to look at from TSM, CageandB, always the rock online. He's usually the rock on lane. Online, he doesn't always come through, but him and Zipnik's looking solid. It's Device that's a little bit behind, so he's going to have to step it up. He's got the star power name on that team right now. Obviously, after last land, CageandB's making a case for it, but usually Device is a flashy player, and there hasn't been much from it. Although Snacks, look at this again. Just the movement mechanics through those trains. It's his playground. It really is. He gets behind them just by bunny hopping through the fire. It's CageandB to get 1, though, in return. Now make it a double. Bialy has to turn back, finds Device. That's the bomb. That's the game. There's no way that that could be recovered by Cajun. So 16-10, that's pretty convincing.
Yeah, it is, and a consistent